Everyone, TNT Moto here. All right, so it's not a video about the bike quite yet. That's going to be happening very soon. I got a few loose ends I need to tie up, and one of those loose ends is some products that have been sent to me by some manufacturers. One of them in particular is they were asking for a review of the product, and that'll be in another video. But this product that was sent to me actually came along with something else, and I'll give you a little bit of the background story on this. When COVID happened back in the beginning of the year, it made it impossible for me to get down to the United States from Canada and pick up any of my parts. It also made it impossible for me to pick up any other products that I may need for my restorations as well. Now, one of those products that I needed a lot was Cerekote, a paint for the engine. I needed it to be heat dissipating. I could not use a product like powder coat on the motor, or I may not get the dissipation of heat that I needed for an air-cooled engine. So I contacted Cerekote and asked them what it would cost for me to buy their paint and have it shipped up to Canada. And in the end, the cost to get the paint shipped up to Canada was astronomical. Had to go through all kinds of crazy hoops to be able to just get it here, and it just wound up being so costly that I was not able to afford it at all. Cerekote helped me out, and they made it possible for me to get the paint that I needed shipped up to Canada for the YZ490 project, and I greatly appreciate that from Cerekote. And we'll talk about more of that in the YZ490 build. But right now, we're going to look at another product that they sent me with the package, with the paint in it. And it is a headlight restoration kit. Now, I've actually never used one of these. I know that's probably pretty hard to believe. Everyone's probably used one of these in the past 20 years, but I have not. And my wife was complaining to me the other day about her headlights not being bright enough, so I went out and ordered LED, and then even then we're looking at the lenses, the plastic lens covers, and they're pretty rough. And then I remembered that I had this. Now, Cerekote didn't ask me to do a review on this product at all. Now, I'm a firm believer in following the directions of a manufacturer, so one of the things that I've read on the package without even opening it up is they suggest that you watch a video. So right now I'm going to quickly go watch the video on how to use this product. Then we're going to open it up, see what's inside it, and then we're going to go out to my wife's car and we're going to try it out and see how well it works.
Now that you have your Cerekote Headlight Restoration Kit, let's show you how to go from this to this in just 3 easy steps.
Alright guys, so I finished watching the video on how to do the headlights with the Cerekote Restore Kit. So let's get outside and check it out on my wife's car. Now, as you can see, my wife's lens is pretty oxidized. Like the angle of the camera might not do it justice, but if you get down low, it's very hard to see through it. It's got almost like a film over top of it. So this is just regular dish soap and water, and this is what they suggest. Well, they actually suggest that you use a car cleaner, but I use dish soap and water on everything that I wash. One of the things you want to do is make sure that it's extremely clean, and the other thing you're going to do is make sure that it is dry. Those are the two things they say that are extremely important when you're doing this. So we're going to clean that one off and then hose it off. Get you up nice and close here so you can have a look at it. Get it down low and you can really see the film over top of that lens. Makes it difficult for the light to get through at night in the rain. This one's not as bad, but it gets a little bit worse around the side. So that is what they look like before we start this process. Now I'm going to open up the package, and we're going to have to put on some gloves here that they provide for you. Hopefully I'll be able to get them around my injured finger. Well, everything's all packaged nice and neatly in the separate steps. So this is, I think, the oxidization remover. So we've got 4 pads per lens, and they suggest you use all of the pads. What else do we got in here? We've got this little sanding holder with the little discs. We've got a little booklet here that it shows you the steps and the instructions all written out here. I'll quickly refresh what I just watched in there by reading them. And there are the gloves that they provide you. Now, if these don't fit, I've got my own, and these look a little bit tight for my hands, so I'm going to be using some of my own, and I'll save these for another project. Okay, so we'll just go back to the book very quickly here and refresh what it said before starting, and if applicable, open the hood for easier access to the lights. I don't have that issue here. I can easily get at the lens. Wash your headlights thoroughly with any type of car soap and rinse well. Well, I use dish detergent. I think it works better. Put on the supplied gloves, and using the oxidation remover, wipe and rub each headlight in a circular scrubbing motion on all areas of the lens. During this process, any oxidization in the lens will be extracted, which will turn the wipes yellow. Move to the next oxidization remover wipe. When your current wipe becomes yellow and soiled, use 4 wipes per headlight to ensure the headlight is clean as possible. Don't worry if your 4th wipe is still yellow, as the next step will remove any remaining oxidization. So here we go. Now there's a couple of little bullet points that it has in there as well that I'll just quickly read what it says there. It says, note, if oxidization remover gets on your paint, don't worry, just wipe it off immediately with a clean dry towel. I've got one sitting over there. You'll want to do both headlights with all of the step 1 wipes before proceeding to step 2. Okay, so we'll do both of them, but I'll only be showing you the one through this process. And then when step 1 is complete, your headlights should have a cloudy look. Okay, so let's open up our first wipe here. There we go. And in a circular motion, rub it all over your entire lens. Being careful not to get it on my paint. I think what I'll do is I'll just focus on staying about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of the lens. I'm not really that worried about the very edge. I don't have a lot of light going through there. I think I'm going to have to change hands. This one's got my injured finger on it. Alright guys, I think we are good with the 4th wipe. So now, looking in the pamphlet, blah 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 blah, wash. Use 4 wipes to the headlight to ensure the headlight is clean as possible. Don't worry about the 4th wipe yellowing. I think I already read that. then it doesn't really say anything else other than that it will have a cloudy look. Oh, wait a minute. You will want to do both headlights with all the step 1 wipes before proceeding to step 2. Rinse thoroughly. Okay, so we're going to rinse this off thoroughly before we go to step number 2. Alright, we're now going to move on to step number 2, which is to fasten the red disc to the surface prep pad. So here's the surface prep pad, clearly marked step 2, which is great. You don't have to question what you're doing next at all. Well, look at that. They laid it out in a manner where it's actually already got the red pad, which is step number 2. Okay, so wet the headlight lens and surface prep disc with water with a squirt bottle, and then scrub the entire lens in a uniform non-circular motion for about 2 to 3 minutes. Be sure to keep the lens wet during this time. Upon completion, rinse well with water. So now we get the lens completely wet, and in a non-circular motion, you just completely do your entire lens back and forth like this. I'm not sure why it's in a non-circular motion. Most of the time when you sand something, you tend to do it in a circular motion, but they say to do it in a non-circular motion for 2 to 3 minutes. Scrub the entire lens uniformly. So that's fine. Keep it nice and wet. We'll just go back and forth. Alright, well, I think that's been about 2 to 3 minutes. So now we proceed to rinse with water and then fasten the gray disc. They give you 4 discs, 2 red, 2 gray. So you're going to use one of each color for each lens. Now we move to the gray one, and with the gray one, repeat the same process. So you're not going to use the circular motion, you're just going to go back and forth, but make it uniform for 2 to 3 minutes. Now it said that this part right here is extremely important in the video, I think the gray disc. So the more you do here, the better your lens will look in the end. So I'm going to spend a little bit more than 2 to 3 minutes here with this gray disc. Well, I think this is probably at about 8 minutes now. I think we're going to stop there and let it dry, or I'll dry it myself, and then we'll go with the step 3. Okay, just going to take a towel here and make sure that I've got it completely dry. So what I'm noticing right now is there is some superficial scratching all over it. It's not as much yellow or foggy anymore, but definitely superficial scratching on the outside. Now I'm thinking what this step 3 is going to do is it's basically going to fill those scratches. This is the ceramic clear coat. So let's just go back to what it says in the manual. Put on a second pair of clean gloves. So let's do that. And open one of the Cerekote ceramic clear coat wipes, moving horizontally from top to bottom. Carefully wipe the coating in a single direction using 50% overlapping technique. Only apply a single coat. Repeat the process with a second wipe on the other headlight. Allow this ceramic clear coat to dry for a minimum of 60 minutes before driving. All right, pretty simple. So let's take one of these out. See how it looks. Save that one for the other headlight. I'm pretty sure it's completely dry. That is very important in the video. It says that you must keep it completely dry. So here's the wipes. So I'm just going to start down at the bottom over here. I'm going to come up and over top like this. Stop there. I think what I'm going to do is just change direction here because it'll be a little bit easier. Now it says 50% overlap on your original one. Alright guys, well there it is. That is the full process from step 1 to step 3. And I must say, that looks pretty darn good. Now I'm going to show you, before the sanding process here, I'm going to show you this headlight currently. And I'm going to move you over to the other headlight, which was after the step 1, but not step 2. And you guys can see the difference here. We'll get nice and close to this headlight. Now I have nothing to compare this to because I've never actually used any products to do this to headlights, but darn, that looks pretty good. Considerably better than what it was originally, and we'll get to see that here in a second when I show you the headlights before we started this whole process. But check this out. Okay, this is a completed lens. Now we're going to move over to a lens before any of the sanding. And this is pretty much what my wife's lenses look like before we started this whole process. So I'm impressed. Okay guys, well, that wraps it up. Both headlights are now finished. I think you guys can probably see the huge difference. Here's what it looked like before. Again, at what it looks like now. Alright guys, so just some final words on the Cerekote Headlight Restoration product that I used today. I just quickly went online and just had a look at the pricing of this product because I'm a firm believer in getting value for your money. And although this Cerekote product kind of sits at the high end of the pricing on these different products, I haven't tried any other ones, so I don't know how they work. All I can go by is what you've seen in this video, and I think this product works fantastic. It looks like Canadian. It's around $35 on Amazon, which is probably going to be the lowest that you find it, but you never know. You might be able to find it at other stores like Walmart or something like that for cheaper. You'll have to go out and do that research on your own. So like I said, price-wise, it sits at the high end of all the products. There are other products that are more expensive. There are other products that are about the same price. Probably the majority of the products sit at a level between $19 and $25, but I have no idea how they work. So I just want to say that, you know, do I recommend this product? Yeah, I do. But I've only used one product, so you know you can't go by my recommendation based on experience through using other products. You have to just go with this one time, and you can see how well it worked on the lenses on my wife's vehicle. So I want to thank you all for coming out and watching my videos. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave some comments, share with your friends. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much for coming back and watching my videos and going through all of this COVID stuff that has really kind of slowed the channel down a little bit, but we're going to start picking it up again going into the winter. So I will catch you all next video.